I'm kind of at a loss for words. It's just an unbelievable feeling. Get drafted to a hometown team, and I'm just ready to get started.
What was it like just hearing Pittsburgh on the call your name?
Yeah, I wasn't really expecting it. I didn't meet with them at the combine, and I just can't imagine everybody at home, going crazy. And I'm just really looking forward to getting started with the Penguins.
You grew up a Penguins fan?
I did.
Did you watch those cup runs?
I did. Yeah. Yep. So my dad's from Mount Lebanon in Pittsburgh. So kind of born and raised Pittsburgh and Penguins fan and Steelers fan. So yeah.
What was the biggest moment for you from those runs?
Yeah, it was just really great, being able to watch it as a kid. Obviously they won 2 times in a row, so it was awesome. I remember being in my basement watching the cup when they won, and my parents were going crazy. Obviously, diehard Penguins fans, so yeah, it was an unbelievable experience.
As a kid, when you were playing street hockey or playing down in the basement, who were you?
Yeah, I have a bunch of Sid jerseys in my basement, a couple of Tang jerseys too. So, yeah, it's just been surreal, being picked by the Penguins, and like I said, I'm just ready to get started.
Who was your first NHL jersey?
Cindy Crosby. Yep. It's like a baby jersey.
Yeah.
My dad probably has pictures of me in a Sid jersey when I'm 1-2 years old. So.
Did you have any merch up of the Penguins in your basement or anything like that?
Oh yeah, so we have a Lemieux jersey, in a big glass case down there, hung up on the wall. We had in our old house before we moved, we had Penguins and Steelers painted all over the basement. And, yeah, it's just kind of like I said. My dad's a diehard Pittsburgh fan. So.
You've been playing for the program. How has that helped grow your game?
Yeah, obviously it was such an honor to play for the program. It's a place where they bring in the best players and really help them take the next step in their hockey career and help them develop. And I'm really, really fortunate that I got the opportunity to play there.
Pittsburgh's been a place that's had, I feel like, a more and more of an eye on the program lately. What's it like to go and see a few guys that you've been around?
Yeah, it's great. Getting to play with Horks again too. I just can't wait to have him be my teammate again. And we'll be apart for some years in college, but can't wait to get reunited with him in Pittsburgh.
Have you heard from him at all yet?
No, not yet. I haven't had my phone and I haven't seen him, so I'm sure we'll be in touch. I talked to his dad, Sean. He was my coach for Little Caesars after the year I left Pittsburgh. So really tight with him. Obviously, he was super happy for me, and I'm really grateful to have him in my circle.
You talked about how Dan Muse has been out to a few games and watched you guys playing because he wasn't at the program anymore. But have you thought about what it's going to be like to play for him?
No, not really. I got to know him a little bit the summer before I went to the program because we didn't know Greg Moore was going to be our coach. We thought Dan Muse was going to be our coach. So I got to know him a little before that, and I just can't wait to go be one of his players.
What's your biggest strength in pro comparison?
I would say probably my gaps, being able to shut down plays in the offensive neutral zone before they get started.
In pro comparison?
I would say McAvoy.
Is that a big part of why you want to go to BU? Just because we looked up to a guy like Charlie McAvoy?
Yeah, I think that's obviously something cool about it, but I think the biggest reason was the coaching staff. Having a really good relationship with them, and kind of thinking that they're the best people to get me to the next step of my hockey career.
And what could you say about the last few years playing the USHL with the program and seeing a lot of your buddies get picked here today? There's been, I think, 20 of you that we've talked to today.
Yeah. It's been great. Obviously, congratulating guys walking down the aisle, getting up, giving them hugs. It's just been awesome. Playing for the program. That group it becomes really, really tight over the 2 years. You go through all the hard workouts and the hard skates. They really bring you together, and it's just a really good brotherhood.
What do you think changed the most about you as a person from when you stepped into the program versus where you are in that chair?
Yeah, I would say just the ability to overcome hard things, facing adversity and learning how to deal with that. Coming in 17th year, you don't win a lot, and it's a really hard year. Hard workouts, in the winter, you're just sick of it, but you got to keep pushing through. It's a long year. So just kind of learning how to deal with that, and I think that's really been an asset to me.
What's one of your main focuses about making that jump?
I would say just kind of getting bigger and stronger. You know, you gotta be a big guy to play at the NHL level. So just kind of putting on some more weight and staying fast.
And what's one thing that your teammates know about you that fans probably don't know?
Away from the rink or at the rink?
Away from
Away from the rink. I'm a big fisherman. Love to fish.
What's the biggest fish you caught?
I caught a muskie this summer, a big muskie. So yeah, that was awesome.
Were you a Caps fan growing up?
I wasn't. No.
Okay.
Before you got here, we got to my dad grew up in Pittsburgh.
Okay.
So he was from Mount Lebanon actually. So I was born and bred a Pittsburgh fan. You know, growing up in that house. So I bleed black and yellow. So
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Congrats. So cool.
thank you.
What's the biggest memory you're taking with you from the program?
Yeah, I would say probably the Czech tournament when we won in November.
Outside of the Penguins, who's your favorite sports team in Pittsburgh?
Sports team, hockey or
Any
Any team?
hockey.
Or
Or
it's-
like
yeah,
football,
I would say
baseball.
Steelers.
Steelers.
Yeah, Steelers. Yeah.
What's your favorite thing about the game of hockey?
I would say, you know, when I step on the ice, you know, everything just kind of goes away, and I just love to play. You know, it's just a great opportunity, and I love stepping on the ice and trying to get better every day.
What's an underrated aspect of your game that you think goes overlooked?
I would say my skating.
Congrats.
Great.
Thank you.
guys.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.